Welcome to Triple H, Hamilton Happy Hour, where we talk about pianos, talk about music, and everything else in between. Hey everybody, welcome back to Hamilton Happy Hour, Triple H. We are back once again with Mike and Mike. What's up, guys?
Hey everybody.
Good evening, y'all.
Hey, Mike.
And we have a guest, Dean Palmer, who is the owner of Grandmasters Pianos. Welcome, Dean.
Welcome,
Hey,
Dean.
Hey, guys.
So we've known each other quite a while.
Absolutely.
Because you've been in the business 30 plus years.
Correct.
35, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Same
And
as me. This week, 35 years this week.
Howard?
I didn't waste a bunch of time in the Navy. I went straight to it, brother.
I did blow a lot of time.
Although I think you made a couple of right turns where I should have made right turns instead of left turns.
You're right. I used up some time there.
And so you've seen us grow up into the business, and so what made you want to start getting into doing pianos?
Drugs, alcohol.
God bless America. That's a good place for it.
Rehab. I'm only kidding. You know, I think it's a great story, and it's probably one you're never, ever going to hear anybody else tell you how they got into the piano business. And if I told you I got into it because I had to have my wisdom teeth taken out, would you believe me? No.
Nope.
Okay. So I'm 15 years old, and I grew up in the foothills of the Appalachian Trail. I'm 15. I have to have my wisdom teeth taken out.
Whereabouts?
Uniontown, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
South of Pittsburgh, about 50 miles. So I have to get my wisdom teeth taken out. And so to get in there, you had to take a bus into Uniontown. So you take a bus into Uniontown. It's a Saturday. Say the bus station here and right here to get your wisdom teeth taken out. You have to go down maybe 3 city blocks, 2 city blocks, or 2 city blocks, 3 city blocks. So I get off the bus. I take the bus by myself. Let's see some Gen Z do that. I'm getting my wisdom teeth out. This is in the 60s.
You couldn't
By
walk
myself.
there?
No, it was.
It's only 3 city blocks. I mean, come on.
No. I live over there. I took our yellow bus that they supplied, which was a school bus that when it wasn't taking kids to school, it would run you to Uniontown. All right. So I get to the bus station. I go down this way. I get my wisdom teeth out. Walking back. Now they're out. I'm by myself. I'm 15 freaking years old. Let's see a Gen Z or whatever they are now.
We were able to do that back then, Dean.
Yeah. So now I go this way. I get about to here, and they're doing karate. Now, you've been to my shop.
Mm-hmm.
You see in the second floor is a dojo.
Yep.
Do you ever think about, how's this guy got this dojo in this piano room?
That's why you called it Grandmasters.
That's how I got the name Grandmaster. Some Buddhist monk gave me that. And this even goes on. So now there's this karate going on there. I stop. All I remember is I had this pocket full of gauze, sterile. Them round
Real
ones
sterile.
that you bite down on. This is what this dentist gave me. And so I'm biting down. There's just karate going on. I couldn't believe it. I missed the first bus, missed the second bus. So I get home. I don't even think my mom, great mom, knew that I was late. She was like, so, and I had to have it done on Saturday, so I wouldn't miss school on Monday. So I go home. All I could talk about was this karate. My dad, who did 29 years in the Army, comes home, and he came home on weekends a lot. And I said, Dad, karate. He gets me at 16th birthday. He gets me 3 months bus pass and 3 months worth of karate.
Oh, nice.
I never missed karate. Went karate. All right, so I'm going like 17 now, or 16, 17, almost 18, because by 18 I was in the Navy. So
Could have gone straight in the piano business.
So I'm training, and a senior guy comes up to me one day and he says, we're going to go over to Sensei's house, which is Gene DeNono, and we're going to help him clean the barn and do some stuff. And it's the end of summer or beginning of summer. And I said, okay. So we meet, we go over and work all day on this farm, clean the stuff up. But senior guy, now there's only 3 of us. Senior guy comes over to me. He says, "Listen, we're done. We're gonna go to Sensei's house. Walk up over the hill." He says, "We're not taking any money. Don't be karate stupid." I'm like, "He just called me stupid." But he's like a black belt, and I'm like just starting out at green belt. I'm 2 years into this, and karate was nothing like it is today. I mean, you could walk out of this building and walk to a karate studio somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
The closest karate studio for me was 30 miles away, and the next one was 60 miles away. And that was in the state. So it just wasn't like it was today. So, which I think is great today, because as long as it's giving these young people something to do, some training, I'm all for it. So, so we're walking over down to the house, and he says, "We're not taking a dime from Sensei." I'm like, "I just did all this work. I'm not getting paid." I said, "Okay." And he called me karate stupid. How does this happen? All right. So we get in there, and sure, Sensei trying to give us money. We're like, no, we're not taking. He says, "Come on in. I want to feed you." So we go in the house, and his wife makes pork chops, scalloped potatoes, and green beans. They were delicious. So we eat it.
Must have been you remembered it from
Oh,
all
yeah,
right.
So we eat it, and at the end of this, he says, "All right, we say prayer and everything." And he says, "Come on in the other room. I want to give you guys something." He says, "Give you guys something." Go in the room, and there it was. 6-legged Steinway. Freaking 6-legged Steinway.
Thanks a lot, Sensei.
I'd never seen it. So he sits me down in a place that I could see the hands, the side of his face, and I could see that Steinway. The other 2 guys are over here. He starts playing. He plays Felice. Now, we all know Felice. You've been in this business long enough, someone comes in and plays Felice, you're like, yeah. All right. Well,
It's the first thing we hear when we set up a piano at somebody's house.
oh, no, that's right.
It's like going to Guitar Center and playing Stairway to Heaven.
Thank you. Well, for me, every time I hear Felice, I go back to that day. So he gets done with Felice, and I'm impressed. I didn't know it was Felice. I didn't know years later there was Felice. He takes a deep breath, and he plays Flight of the Bumblebee.
Oh, that's ratcheting it up a little bit.
Now I'm like, what just happened? And he plays Flight of the Bumblebee, and he gets done, and he turns to me, and I'm all in awe, and he goes, "Bushido." And I'm going, "Bushido? That's that shit you make us say every time we come in, like a strive for perfection of character, or defend the prize of truth, foster the spirit of effort, guard against impetuous courage, honor the principles of etiquette." What does Bushido got to do? I'm thinking this in my head. I just want to know the denouement, the death touch, all right? When are you going to teach me that? I thought maybe today would be the day you taught me the denouement. So now fast forward 3 years. So 3 years go by. I'm in the Navy. I'm in the medical corps. I get assigned to a Marine division, all right? They're corpsmen. They always have to. They use Navy corpsmen.
Uncle Jimmy.
Right. Yeah. So I get assigned to a Marine division.
You're a corpsman?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So that's my father-in-law.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
Oh, good man. Yeah.
Yeah,
good
he's
man.
here. He works here.
Yeah,
he
he
helps
works
us
here all
out
the time.
quite a bit, actually.
Oh, does he?
Man, you got to come here and hang out with Uncle Jimmy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's always here in the mornings.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, all mornings.
Not past 12 o'clock.
No.
No, he's just retired.
He's done.
He's done.
He gets that pension too?
Yeah.
Oh, the Navy pension money's nice. Nice.
Not from
According
his,
to him.
not from according to him, yeah.
Oh, mine's
According
grown
to
over
him,
here.
it's like,
Oh,
Well,
no,
you should talk to him. Maybe it'll help.
it's my
I could use a
backbone.
couple tips for you.
So now I'm always on the military. I'm always going to these gyms, and I'm meeting other martial artists, and guys doing karate, and so. But I go into this Marine gym one day, and there's this Major Kosoboom. I didn't know he was major, but he's suited up. He's a 3rd-degree black belt in Shotokan karate, which is like hard to make rank in, like the hardest style. And me and him become like training partners, and he's training me all the time. And like every time he wasn't deployed, I was there. Like I'm shadowing him as much as I can. It was when officers weren't allowed to fraternize with enlisted, but he was doing it, and it was. I don't want to say like it was a secret relationship, but it was a secret relationship built around karate. And about 6 months into this, he brings me in a book, all right, and I still have it, a very valuable book, Bushido, The Heart of Japan. And he hands me this, and he says, "Stop being karate stupid and read this." I'm like, "He just called me karate stupid. That's the second time someone says karate stupid. I got to figure out what this word means, all right?" And so he hands me this book, and I'm going like, I'm never going to learn them law. These guys just want me to read this stuff.
Hello, quit being stupid.
That was the end of the book. We made you read this whole thing just to get to that.
Dummy.
So I take it home. I start reading the book, and there it was. Almost the first chapter was kind of about perfection of character, but it was in there, master the stringed instrument. Your job as a martial artist, you must master a stringed instrument in your life, and it gave you all the reason why, because and how they're paralleled, how their music and instruments are so paralleled to karate. You know, I say martial arts, but martial arts weren't back then. It was just everything was karate and judo.
Okay.
And so I'm reading and I'm going, and he has that yellow highlighted for me. Like, not only just call me, but he has, and now I remember what Sensei Denono just told me years ago. Bushido, and this is what he was talking about. He's talking about, and they must have seen something in me that they figured it better do that. Well, it had like these different instruments, and one was the kento, which is, I think, is the 12-string instrument, or 12 or 13. So I picked that up. I didn't go anywhere with it. It was beyond. So I figured, hey, I'll do the 6-string, which is the shamisen. So I picked the shamisen, which I just gave away about a week ago. It had been hanging in my shop for like 30, 40 years, all right, whatever, 50 years. And I just gave it to the kid we were talking about earlier.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. He fell in love with it, all right. So hey, here, have it. It was all dusty. And so I tried the 6-string. Little did I know, it's twice as hard as a 13-string because you're trying to get as many notes out of 6 strings.
So you got to play twice as hard.
Karate's stupid. But that didn't work.
Make it 26-string. It'll be easier.
That didn't work. So I went to the bawa, which is 3 strings, even harder than the. So that like lasted a year. So that was like the end of me trying to master a stringed instrument. Now I'll go.
I need a lot more strings.
Well, more strings apparently.
Then I can just press buttons.
Apparently, the more strings, the easier it is. But I didn't know that. Right? So now I'll go to 91. I'm out. This is 1991. All right, not 1891. So now I'm out of the Navy, and I take a job like every guy does while I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And I took a job with, it was Mayflower. But I was here in Fort Lauderdale, and the Mayflower big trucks would come, and a bunch of us guys would go load these trucks. Then they would take off.
Mayflower was in Boston. Sorry, guy.
No, there was a Mayflower down here.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
And so that's who the big
The Pilgrims came
out. Well, that's
Let's talk about that Mayflower.
You're wrong.
He
16.
said 1900,
Yeah.
not 18, 1700.
You know I'm 71.
That's number 7. It's the 7th time we heard
How
that
old are
today.
you, Dean?
We're going to make it to 71.
There's hope for you
Goal
guys.
of the podcast.
There's hope for you guys, all right? So it's 91. I'm moving with this moving company, just loading their trucks. And every piano we come across, we're banging up. And I'm like, nobody knows how to move pianos. So I get this.
It's like all other furniture movers locally right now.
Right.
Yeah, not much has changed.
So I get this VCR. For you guys don't know what a VCR is. It's kind of like a single.
I still have one.
It's a single user YouTube. Okay, you put it in. You're the only one that gets to see it. All right. So I get this VCR by a guy named Ben Benuto, and it's called Piano Rebuilding. Book 1 or tape 1, all right? But the first 5 minutes of it is him moving a Chickering, an old Chickering Grand. So I look at that, and I look at that, and I look at that. I can move. So the next piano comes to move with this company, we move it successfully. second, third, fourth piano. All I'm going. Now the owner of the company ends up giving me my own pickup truck. And all I'm doing is going around the state anywhere there's a piano to move and supervise and moving the piano.
That's a sweet gig.
Right.
Don't get any ideas, Aiden.
I'm not.
He's in a pickup
I
truck tomorrow.
love pickup trucks.
I'm like about 6 months into this, and I go, why don't I get my own truck? So I buy this Ivecchio, which is precursor to Isuzu's. And every time we started a truck, you had to raise this thing up and pump and prime the engine. It was a great truck, all right? So now I'm moving pianos, and the way we'd get business, and almost immediately it was successful. There was a thing called a newspaper. And it was, and it's kind of like the
Did
internet.
they go house to house?
Yes. But inside this newspaper, it would have a classified section that would say all the pianos for sale. And I'd call every piano owner and say, hey, I'm piano mover, helping when you move the piano, if you haven't. And like 1 out of 10 would click on me, all 9 of them. So I bag every job on there. Then I started moving for dealers. Then Hurricane Andrew happened. So now one of my Navy buddies had an airplane. A week or so later, we're supplying supplies down there. We're taking supplies down to water and whatever. And this lady walks over to me. She says, what are you doing? I said, I move pianos. She went crazy. She was like, oh, my God, you move. We don't have nothing. We don't know what to do with these pianos. Oh, my God. Next thing I know, like, I'm moving pianos out of Hurricane Andrew. Like, tops of buildings are off. I didn't know. Tops of buildings off, and I'm craning them out. And pianos were literally on the beach, sucked out of apartment complexes and in swimming pools. So I had like 160 pianos we moved every day, and they were giving me carte blanche. I'd go down, and I went down with a guy named Joey Vicenzi, passed out. WWF wrestler, not the one I showed you, but another one, all tattooed up head to toe, handsome guy, but just like 330 pounds, just used. Every day we're going down there. They're giving me carte blanche. They're supplying the crane, telling me where to show up, what I got to do. Half the houses are going. We're craning pianos out of it. I'm taking them up North Miami, and I'm putting them in a warehouse. Finally, things are calmed down. It says months this goes on. Same girl comes to me and says, "We need all these pianos repaired." I didn't know anything about repairing piano. I knew about trying to sing. I bought tape 2. I bought the other tape.
That was YouTube back in the day.
I bought the next YouTube tape. And of course, I set up my first shop in Delray Beach, and no advertising. I didn't have it. I brought my first. I sponsored my first 2 guys that I made citizen. One was a woodworker, brought him here on H-1B1 visas. Got a refinishing shop. It was only 5,000 square foot shop, but the warehouse was big. So we'd bring 10 pianos at a time or whatever. And then I brought another guy over, and he ran my moving. And the moving took off. So now I had no advertising because I've got all these pianos, and I had a 5-year lease on them. We were like almost to the day. That was from 92 to 97. I was in Delray Beach, and no advertising, nothing, just because I'm bringing my own pianos in. And the insurance companies, the way back then they resolved every issue was to throw money at it. It's not like today, and today's all the forms, and you have to justify everything, and that set the standards for everything that is done in Southern Florida, even how our insurance is written. So I started doing it, and I got Sal Vernolino, retired from Steinway, to come on board with me. My son Dean, Sal taught him to string, and there's a story. Here's my son Dean, who is deaf in one ear, 69 decibels in this ear with a hearing aid, and he's taken on rebuilding pianos, and he actually became one of my best piano rebuilders that I ever had. Matter of fact, the guys that are there now, Keel, was trained by Dean.
Oh, okay.
And so Dean takes on this challenge, and and we all know that the rebuilding isn't just the sound is the end product, but it's how you get to that end product that determines the sound.
Right.
So Dean was really good. He learned how to rebuild actions and restringing, and he did almost all those pianos he did, that needed to be strung. Probably 100 of them needed to be restrung, and he did all that style. This style taught him, and Dean stayed with the company for almost 20 years, and decided he wanted to go back to Gallaudet, which is like the Princeton for the deaf.
Washington, D.C.?
Right, Washington, D.C., that's right. That's where he is right now.
Okay.
And he's finishing some degree, and I think he wants to teach the deaf. He's just one of these, he has so much to give.
He's such a sweetheart of a man.
Oh.
He's just, he's very pleasant to talk to. He's very patient. I mean, really, really, really nice. We've had numerous conversations.
And when Dean was young, I worked real hard on getting him to lip read, learn how to lip read. And he excelled in that. So now he's deaf, but because his lip reading is so good, I knew he gotten good. Because we were when Pier 66 used to have that thing that went around that.
Yeah.
So Dean was maybe like 12 years old, and I'm up in Pier 66 and I'm having lunch with him. About right over there was this couple, and they were fighting. And Dean starts telling me what they're saying.
Talk about a superpower.
Yeah, right? Like
Cool.
These started, and they were into it. And I'm like, what? Tell me more. And so Dean's telling me, and so he just became very good. But so I ended up. It took me a little under 5 years to do all these pianos. I never had to do one advertising. Didn't really have a name for the company, and I had, and again, I'm still doing martial arts, but by the time I got to Florida, I got Sensei Baranowski, who was one of the spin-offs from the Japanese Karate Association. So I trained with him for almost 30 years, and he just died a couple of years ago. And so he was my sensei, but I'm like traveling, I'm going to all these other places. And that monastery out on Route 27, it's buried back there. Go back there and you go one of these side roads. They got this big golden temple, very big.
No, I'm not familiar with
I don't know that either.
Yes. So there's.
We didn't deliver a piano there.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually how I got the name
I think he did.
Grandmaster. Right? So I'm out there delivering this Yamaha there, and one of the monks sees this tattoo on my leg, and he kind of whistles, and I said, he said, "Oh, come." So I ended up going training at this monastery, like. While they're doing their Shaolin stuff, they're doing their Kung Fu, and I'm doing Shotokan. So we kind of got this, and they called me Grandmaster. And that's the whole name Grandmasters came from that. So even my piano career has a great big tilt to the karate side. And still today, I'm karate stupid. You come to a place. There's a room upstairs.
That's awesome how that blends.
I got a dojo. Well, if you read about it, they're just so parallel, and the part of the brain that we use to master both of us are so parallel,
Right.
that it makes that transition so easy.
Mm-hmm.
That so I for me it was very easy. So finally, after I'm done with doing this. Del Rey and all these hurricane pianos, I kind of figured I got it. And by that time, I had read like every book I could get my hands on.
And you had volume 3 of that video, right?
I only want to tell you. You want to hear
YouTube 3?
You want to hear the craziest part about that? So I got my office, and Ray, of course, jumps in, right? So she said, "Dad, I want to clean your office." It hadn't been cleaned in maybe 25 years. All right. And I said, "Marie, do whatever you want to do, honey." All right. So she's walking out one day, and she's got this box, and there's my Benvenuto VCRs. and there was a VCR that a tape that me and a couple guys had made that we put out, a karate instructional video we put out. And so she's walking out, and they're going, "I saw you can't throw them away." She says, "Oh, yeah, I can." So they go. So next, she's walking with my computer, and it's this old first series computer. And I say to her, "Marie, you can't throw that away. That's got all my original customers on it. It's got all the pianos I did in Hurricane Energy." I said, "You can't throw it away." And she looks at me with a straight face, and she says, "Dad, they're all dead."
I think she needs to come over here for a couple weeks.
And so is the computer.
Gone. The computer was gone. I sat there and I said, you know, she's 100% right. Because it had taken up space in my office because they were like this big.
Bigger.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And they had that old puffy screen.
Right.
I said, oh my, they're all dead. I was like, oh.
And
But no, they're not.
I think everyone.
We've heard this before.
shut up. But it's hard. I mean, because you think about it. For instance, okay, he's sitting here, right here and right now. You start reminiscing about the story, and and it's kind of cool if you think about it because it's being recorded. It's going to live on infamy with this story of how things started. So you
Awesome.
have that forever, you know, not on an old computer, you know, but it's.
We're going to make this into a VHS tape.
That's the only way I'll understand it.
Laserdisc, don't worry. We're going Laserdisc now.
Press play. You know, so that's kind of cool. You know, when you have that history of how you get to where we are right here, right now, and now putting it on film, you know, and recording it, that's forever. So Maria can see this 20 years from now if she wants to. You know what I mean? If you can't
Delete.
If you can't, I'm throwing this out too.
Sure look at it and say they're all dead.
Shit, I got 20 years left.
Dang it.
Good thing I didn't say 10 years.
Maria, we're still here.
But that's kind of cool, you know, if you really think about that, that part of it. For the future generations, you know, that's kind of.
No, it is awesome.
That's kind of like what this business is about. It's about the future generations, because what else is it good for, and what else are we doing? If we're not here to train and help keep it going, we're not doing our job, because this profession, we were talking about it earlier, that AI is not going to be able to take over what we do. You know, and with certain things, yes, there are certain things that's going to make our life better.
It'll help.
Right. But it can't do
It's not
what
going to
these
take it over.
digits can do.
You know, when I first got in, I had a guy, Tom Annunziano, and he said to me, don't do this. He said, digitals are going to take over. Don't do this. Digitals are going to take over. But not happening.
Nope.
You know, I think I just read a week ago that I think there's 20 million pianos in the United States. 7,000 licensed technicians. So we're talking about 300 pianos per technician.
Mm-hmm.
A doctor, one doctor, has about 70 patients per. So
AI is going to take over what they do before it takes over what we do.
And so why can't we make as much as doctors?
we can.
Yeah.
You know, if you ask me,
Have you seen his boat?
let me tell you, if you
Can
ask,
insurance pay us too?
if you ask me, like, what are the things you proudest of?
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you that as far as this industry goes, when I first got in, when I first started on the guild meetings, so this is a generation ahead of me, okay? They would literally not want you to know anything.
Yeah.
They would literally hide their tools and walk. They would go out of their way. So I'd go to the guild meetings, and I would say to them, hey, you know, like, listen, you guys are charging $15 a tuning. Let's all go up to $25. Oh, you can't. You got to leave. You're not allowed to talk about that. No, I'm telling you the truth. It was against their bylaws to talk about money in the old days. Wow. I'd go to the next meeting, and I'd go, hey, I just seen your tires, and 3 of them are bald and one's pretty close. You know, I think we should up it to where we're all making money. And so I drove it home, and I got asked to leave a couple times from the guild meetings. And so I finally went to a state convention, and I'm kind of talking to everybody, and I'm pitching my theory, like, hey, listen, you know, take this as a fact. Take 2 young kids out of high school, right? One says, I want to be a doctor. This one says, I want to be a master piano rebuilder. Okay? So this one wants to be a doctor. He's got all the schools lined up for him, got all the books ready for him, got all the teachers ready for him. They get done with the 4-year program. They got another 4-year program all lined up, all the schools, everything's lined up. Boom, boom, boom. Do it. Now they do the 2 years residency. They're making what money? Take that same young man that wants to be a piano rebuilder. First, he's got to learn how to move pianos. Oh, What art is that? That's an art.
Yep.
Listen, I always say that's not geometry. I mean, it's not algebra. It's geometry. It's
Physics.
all these angles. That's right.
Yep.
And what you guys have to know. Oh my God. So let's say he takes a year and masters that, or gets good at it, and learn how to wrap it. So you're doing your second story moves, and you're coming down flights of steps, and you're craning it, and you're
All of that today.
right.
This is one day.
All in one
Hamilton.
day.
So now he wants to learn to tune the piano. What's he, 2 years till he's good at that? And how many schools are there in the country?
Yeah.
There's
Handful.
Two.
That's the only way you learn it.
Yep.
Is you walk in Hamilton Piano Company and say, listen, I'd like to work for nothing. All right, no, I don't know anything, because I get them come in there, and I get them come right out of school. And listen, thank God the schools, but the school never taught them to rebuild a piano that the wife's pushed in the swimming pool. All right, and we get those. Right. And they've never
That's a
taught
strong wife.
Right. She hires somebody. The new boyfriend helped her.
We've got some out of the hurricanes.
So now he's got to learn to restring pianos. Now he's got to learn string skills, rebuilding piano. He's 10 years. He's 10 years.
Yep.
So I recognized that a long time ago, right? That this is complicated. It's probably the most satisfying, rewarding craftsman that you can do in modern history right now.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I never kind of looked at it that way, but I've also thought that, okay, so you've got one person. Let's just take, you or me, you, whoever, one person. None of us are going to be great at every single thing with the piano. It's impossible. Okay. I know my strengths and my weaknesses. So the guy that shows me his strengths, I'm like, you're much better at this. You do this. This is your wheelhouse, and push it that way. So a piano is actually can give 6 different professions. One piano, if you think about it. So usually you have your pin block and belly man, okay, soundboard guy, right? Then you have your stringer, which could be the belly man depending, but you have your stringer, you have your damper and action guy, you have your refinisher, you have your movers, tuner / technician, and your salesman. So 6, 7 jobs. That's what entices me with the piano, is the fact that it can provide so many jobs for so many people with just one instrument. And the amount of time it takes. It's not like, oh, well, you're going to be done in a week. No, this process is going to take several months, if not up to a year, depending. So for that year, these 6, 7 people, maybe they're not for the full year getting paid off that piano, but when that time comes for them to do what they need to do, they got future work already lined up. So if you kind of stagger it that way with this job is this, so you got to put it here so this guy can do this, and blah, 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 blah. And you're providing work. That was the biggest thing with me. Why I started the company was I had to provide for my family first and foremost. It was 2008. There was no tunings, but I had rebuilding work, and then it was to provide work for other technicians. I kind of had that feeling like we're gonna add, do jobs for other technicians, and then to provide jobs. That was the other one too, to bring people in to help with the economy, with people getting jobs. And I'm sure you've gone through it too. The people you go through and in and out of through the years is one thing, because you're 35 years or so. We're only 17, with us since 2008. But you also learn, oh, this guy, okay, yeah, I know what this guy can do, and I hope he sees the potential in himself that I see in him, like you would see in them. It's just, but you can't train the personality. That's the problem.
Foster the spirit of effort.
Yeah.
That's the second role of Bushido, foster the spirit of effort. So the ability to see what that person has and to guide them, especially in our industry, and to guide them that way and give them that opportunity that they become the best stringer, the best mover, the best tuner. There's no way they're going to do it all. The problem is you and I, we have to know it all.
Yeah.
And the really sucky part is we have to be businessmen too.
And that's hard.
Oh, that's hard.
It's extremely hard. My mentor, Miss IL, he gave me my work ethic. He taught it to me because he was such a hard worker. When I first met him, I thought I worked hard. Oh, forget it. When he came into the picture, but he was just not a great businessman. He was a 7-day-a-week guy, 60, 70, 80 hours a week, and that was him. But business, it eluded him. He just didn't have that with him. And there's nothing wrong with that. I tried to help him through the years. But my father had told me that you have to have the strength of a blacksmith and the skill of a surgeon to be in this business.
Boy, that's I like
Right?
that. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? Not everybody has to have both. But if you have one, you got a chance, to be able, okay, so the strength of a blacksmith to move a piano, string a piano, the skill of a surgeon to voice a piano, regulate a piano, tune a piano. There's those different things that you got to have. Not everybody can be both, because it's just impossible. We're just all so individual people. But there comes a time that you do find somebody that can provide more things and can do more things than you would think that they could do, but that's the hard part, is trying to figure out the niche for that person. You try them out on this and this, and like, you suck at that, move on to try this, and that's a hard part too, in the business. But the business side could be one of the hardest parts.
Oh, the hardest part.
Because you got to figure out, one, the bills got to be paid. That's bar none. Right there, bills got to be paid. So now you got to figure out, okay, well, I got this guy. Do I keep him or do I let him go? Because I got to pay the mortgage or the rent, and I got to pay the electric, and then, I got 5 other people or however many I got to pay. And that's what goes on in my head and things. I'm like, but I don't want to let the guy go because I like him, and, blah, 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 blah. And when we're in a mom and pop operation and not a
Very
corporate setting, it makes it so much harder on our end because
Very
you
hard.
become friends with the people that you work with. And you only want them to excel in life. You don't want to hurt them. You're trying to keep them. You were talking about it earlier with other things where you're like, I want this person, to keep doing what they're doing and blah, blah, blah. So it's hard to keep that, fine line of business and personal.
So that would fall under honor the principles of etiquette. Right?
Yeah.
So the principles of etiquette, the Westerners, they made that principle of etiquette all about the silver and the spoon, but really it had some meaning. They didn't want the samurai down to the food. They wanted the food. But really the principle of etiquette has to do with the relationship with each person and their son, their daughter, their wife, their husband, their aunt, their uncle, their employees, their friends, and how you regulate and keep that a mesh. And that's what I see a lot at Hamilton. The things you just said to me today about family and your relationship with your employees and their friends, and how you regulate that is all the principles of etiquette. And it has very little to do with the knives and forks and silverware stuff. It has to do with that kind of emotional thing, what everybody's placement is in everybody else's life. It's everybody. And when they talk about it's the principles of etiquette, is you and your relationship with all these different people that are in your life. And once you understand that, it makes that dealings a lot easier because everybody earns a position in everybody else's life.
Right.
Nobody just walks in and says, and so those become important.
And you want them to succeed. You want
Absolutely
everybody
right.
to succeed. It's not, when it comes down to the businesses, we won't mention any names, but businesses that are all about themselves, the owners of the company. And when it's like that with them, and they're just like, what can I do so I could buy this or do this and blah, 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 blah. And they're not thinking about the people that helped them get there, and that it should be going back into the business. And since day one, with me and the company, I've always put everything back into the business.
Obviously.
That's why I have 8 storage units full of freaking pianos.
Working on number 9.
Sometimes you put too much back into the
That's amazing, Toby. That's amazing.
I got a problem. I need like pianos
They don't
anonymous.
have PA.
I got a piano problem.
But
15 by 45.
but
8
it's,
of them.
it's hey, listen, guys. If you look at it this way, it's guaranteed work for the next 10 years. So
I was never so secure in a job when I had all those Hurricane pianos that I not a dollar's worth of advertising. And so I could see where you went. You know, my storage pianos are a never-ending source of income.
Mm-hmm.
Never-ending. Someone calls up. I just got I've got so many pianos that the customers call up and say, Dean, I don't want that Steinway B anymore. We're moving. So you don't want the Steinway B anymore. That's nice. And
What do you need?
yeah.
You need an M? I mean, we can do an even trade.
No, they're getting storage so long, and they're there 4 or 5 years. I just got rid of my longest storage piano. It had been in my storage 18 years.
Oh, my
She'd been paying me.
That's it?
18 years.
I finally called her. I said, Joanne, listen to your piano.
Was that Kohler and Campbell console?
No, it was here. Oh, it's a sad story. It's a John Broadwood. She was having it rebuilt for her husband's birthday, and I'm done with the piano, and I call her. He passed. So now I got this. I got this John
Should have been
Broad.
quicker.
It's all your fault, Dean. You should have lickety split got that done.
I never thought of it that way. I feel horrible. I won't sleep tonight.
You took a couple fishing trips in the middle of that rebuild, didn't you?
I should have thought of that.
I mean, we could have helped you out, Dean. I mean, come on.
So I finally get the piano done.
18 years later.
Who'd figure it out? Okay, he
I
came
mean,
in.
I'm only 71.
Okay, he came in on oxygen and a walker.
How long will this take? Oh, no time at all.
Nice
old are you?
piano.
By the time I'm 71, how old are you? 51.
See, that's what I don't
Don't
want to
worry
happen.
about it.
That's what I don't want to happen to me. Don't worry, Dean. We'll get that done.
You got that checkbook?
I know that trick.
How much you want to put down today?
So another one of the things that I'm most proud of is every one of my key employees owns their own home through Grandmasters.
That's fantastic.
And because I know a little bit about real estate, as they progressed, I would say, okay, listen, you're at this stage, and this year, I want you to do this because the timing's going to be right at this point. And they all listen to me. Every one of them listen, you know, and I've sponsored 7 people to become U.S. citizens through Grandmasters.
Wow, nice.
And when I first started, it was before 9/11, and I'm really proud of that. Really, very proud of it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I just finished the last one, which was the longest one, which was 20 years. He just got indoctrinated or sworn in 4 weeks ago.
Wow.
But at some point, and he was after 9/11. I had to sign a piece of paper that said, if they commit a murder, I commit a murder. If they rob a bank, I rob a bank. And I have to every year I had to prove that I made enough money to support them and me. And I got them on H-1B1 visas. And I don't know if it is anymore, but piano technology was a critical need. And so it made it easier.
Oh.
And so it may still be. You should check that out.
Yeah, I
because
should.
You get them in, and it creates a huge amount of loyalty. My wife says to me, I've never seen anybody get so many calls at Christmas. I tell them all, only call me in December.
Mm-hmm.
So now those 7 people are actually 35 now. There's grandkids, there's kids, there's wives. So there's 35 people in this country, and they're all good people. I had to get rid of one of them.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, I walked in, he was doing blow in the bathroom. And I just said, you have to leave, and I'm calling INS today, and you're out of here.
Yeah.
And so I tried 8, but I got through with 7. I'll never do another one. Want to know why?
Because you're 71.
No, I didn't say it that time. I didn't say it.
Oh, he said it though. Well, okay, so it only counts. Okay, all right. We're still at 7.
So I'm very proud of that. Very proud.
We're never going to get to 71. Then we need to start including all the other dimensions.
And I'm really proud of I'm proud of my son Nick. You know, I in 2014 I get diagnosed with cancer, and here's my 16-year-old son, and I've got this business, and 14 things were going great, and I literally had to take off. I said to my family, listen, I've been doing a lot to save other people's lives. I'm saving mine now.
Mm-hmm.
So my son at 16 jumps into the business. Now, he had been there. You can't grow up without being there. But literally at 16, he had to take over. And here he's doing his wrestling, doing great in school. And he literally carried the weight on his own shoulders at 16. So, I'll give you the short end of 9 years of cancer treatment. Over 2,000 bags of chemo, 38 bone marrow biopsies, 36 bags of plasma, 22 bags of platelets, 4 transplants. I was one of the first in the country. It was experimental back then, but I got a total stem cell replacement. We had a saying in the Navy, Corpsman, always take care of your Marine because your Marine will always take care of you. So it was Corpsman saying, right? So now there I am. They're looking for stem cells for me. So Nick was too young. He matched, but he was too young. They wouldn't do Nick. My brother, who was a perfect match for me, came down with hepatitis. So like a week before, I'm a day away from dying. The day before, I got 6 units of blood. So like I was there. I was gray, literally gray. And the phone rings, and I never answer my home phone. Still today, we've been in the same house 20 years. I've answered it maybe 3 times. It's not my phone. It's my wife's phone. I love her. She's so good to me. So the phone rings, and we're sitting at the table, and I'm gray. Now, honestly, I'm sitting there saying, this is my last meal. And she's answered the phone. Says, doctor, stem cell doctor, says, Mr. Palmer, you've been chosen for the program. We're going to have a medical Learjet there for you tomorrow morning. So I get on this jet, and I go up to Vanderbilt, VA, University of Vanderbilt. And I'm in-house for 4 months in a room. And I had a cousin went with me the whole time. So I get this stem cells, and I get this transplant 10 days after I'm there. And they said 2 things happen. You have to have the chills, and you have to throw up. And that means the new stem cells are beating up the old stem cells, right? And so, and I'm done, and I start shaking. If you've ever had the shivers, they're like painful.
Mm-hmm.
So the doctors, they got surrounded by nurses, and the doctor comes in and says, I'm going to give you something to stop them chills. I said, fuck you, you're not giving me shit. I want these
trying to
shit.
throw up here, right?
I got done with that. I'm throwing up. Right? I'm like, bingo. That's right. That's how I felt. I was like, oh,
Don't take this away from me, damn it.
I didn't want nothing. So I get on the other side of that, and I can't find out who gave me these stem cells. I'm filling out a little paperwork. My family's all getting involved. They want to know who gave me stem cells. 27-year-old Marine. Always take care of your Marines. Why?
They'll take care of you.
Yep.
40 years later.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a really cool story.
Yeah. So now, I'm out, and now I come back to get this transplant, and I come back, and Nick's carrying the load. He's amazing, carrying the load, and slowly I come back into the business, and I start, back, and I get back. It changed a lot of things for me, like how I seen the whole business, and I became very satisfied. I had plans to kind of grow, not like this, but I realized that I used to think the 2 things limited the business was distance and manpower. And then as the internet came more and more into existence, the distance is like not important anymore. Right. And so that part of it's went away. It's still always going to be manpower. AI is going to take care of a little bit of that, but that's just going to turn the job from this labor to that labor running the machines.
Yeah, and it's more for office stuff,
right.
And scheduling and that kind of stuff.
Helping
not
out.
Right.
Yeah, and it's never going to lift a piano. It's never going to string a piano. It's never
This
going
is one
to.
business that's just going to completely benefit from AI. It's not going to take over the jobs.
Right.
'cause
Well,
there's too much fine motor skills and not enough money to make machines to do that.
AIs can't be a blacksmith or a surgeon. You know.
No, they'll be surgeons.
surgeons.
Oh, well,
they will. They're
They won't be
already
blacksmiths.
There's already AI surgeons.
Well, it won't be a blacksmith, so we're covered.
Even the Dean Rayburn cyber tuner, that's taken into another plateau, so, and that's AI. I got a question for you guys, and I'll tell you my answer before you even answer. What's the most pianos you've delivered, single piano moves, in a 24-hour period?
So that's a that can go a couple different ways because we've done piano sales.
Right. No, I'm not talking about.
So you're talking strictly deliveries to homes.
Christmas Eve, 96.
Okay, so interesting.
I've done 9.
Christmas Eve, I've done 17.
17's my number.
So, but as a company, this was at Jordan Kits. We was 73.
Wow.
This was at Jordan Kits in DC, and we had 4 trucks we ran every day, and we had 2 other subcontractors, 2 trucks with one and 1 truck with the other. So we had
That's amazing.
seven trucks running.
17 was our record that I did with one guy, me and one guy in a 24.
Yep.
Dean went up and worked for Jordan Kits for a little while.
I didn't know that.
There's my deaf son. Walks into Jordan Kits, says, "Let me regulate an action for you. If I'm good, you hire me." And he's going to be the family millionaire. He's got grandparents that are, and they own waterfront property up there in Annapolis, and so he's up there taking care of it. Yeah, and so he would go up there and visit his grandparents and stay like a summer. And
Grandparents, parents.
Right. and he'd go to Jordan Kittens and walked in. He said, "Dad, I told him to give me an action to regulate it." He said, "Then I got a job there."
Yeah. We have blind refinishers too.
No.
Well, I mean, you kind of got to think about it. When you have one sense that isn't 100%, the other 4 gets heightened. So it's like there's a lot of blind piano tuners out there, and they are very, very good.
Right. A lot of them,
because they can focus on that part because they can't see; they're not visually stimulated.
Dean has that ability to focus in on little things. So stringing became a natural form, and action regulation and all that. And even if you think about tuning, I always think about tuning as 3 parts. I think it's physical, because it takes try and tune a Baldwin acrosonic. Okay, you figure out what a workout is. Okay,
That's why I have 5 other tuners out there.
just for acrosonics.
the young man I told you about that comes in, that's the first thing I taught him how to tune.
Oh,
So
boy.
this is hard.
And he stuck around.
He's there. So I said, if you can tune this piano, you come back. All right.
Is
And-
that your autistic kid?
Yeah. So you can tune this piano, and he does. He's there. All right, he's amazing. He's amazing. So then it's mechanical. It's like all these movements where you put your hammer, filling the pins, the strings, hand and eye coordination, and then there's the acoustic part of it.
Yeah.
So Dean Rayburn has resolved the acoustic part of it. And so early in when Dean was writing this program, the inquiry was a little bit about my son Dean, because you can write a program that a deaf person can tune with. You're written a pretty good tuning program.
No doubt.
Right. So Dean had gotten to the point where he was doing like a lot of shop tunings. Then I started sending him out doing tunings. And that was really funny, because he was saying, Dad, I told him I'm deaf. And I would say, well, just do a good job, Dean. Always tell them if they don't like your work, they don't have to pay you.
I can't hear it anyway. Don't worry about it.
He was by far #1 moneymaker in the company. He would go to these jobs, right? And he would always say, "Listen, I'm deaf. When you talk to me, you got to come over and tap me on the shoulder." So he'd do the job, and he'd go through it, and then he'd go through the second time. He'd do a good job. Listen, I never sent him out on a concert, but the majority of that is this: they haven't tuned the piano in 2 years. So just bringing it up to pitch to them is a tuning. Okay,
Yeah.
They're happy. So I send him out on those jobs. But he'd go in the job and he'd say, okay, Dad, the tuning's $200. Listen, I talked to him in an action regulation. I'm going to pull up some of their coils. I'm not leaving until like later tonight. It's $1,200. and he would do it all the time.
Oh, wow.
He brought in, and I always said, just keep it, or whatever you make, Dean, it's yours. But he would, mad money. Every time he'd go out, Dad, give me another tuning. And I would say he was running a good 70%.
Wow.
Everything, he would go out and I had to regulate their pedals.
Need a job?
No,
We got a building we got to build.
get Dean, I'm telling you. Send him out on a job. And he would do it. Hey, let me ask you this. Do you have a drugs, money, and jewelry policy?
Yeah, we love all of it.
Drugs, money, and no drugs.
You're thinking the wrong way.
Okay.
So I get my first shop after the Delray Beach shop, right? So I buy a piano, and I buy it from an estate sale. And we get the piano, it's Yamaha C7. It was my number one rental for years. But I get it still set up on the side. And about 3 days after it's in the shop, a suit and tie walks in. He's in a suit and tie, she's in a suit. So I know something's going on. I walk, how you doing? She says, you're Mr. Palmer. She says, you bought a piano from our grandmother at an estate sale in Lauderdale by the Sea. Lauderdale by the Sea, which is an upper end. And they both hand me cards, and they're both lawyers. I go, okay, I see what's going on here. Okay. So I
I'll
see.
be in stiff arm.
I'm deaf.
Hold on, let me get my son.
Talk to Dean.
for you.
You got the wrong Dean.
I should have done that. Let me get my Dean. Dean.
Hey, come here.
So
Man,
what's
I can't
going on?
hear you.
What's going on? And they said, well, listen, we just found out from one of the nieces, Grandma used to hide jewelry in the piano. So I said, all right. I said, let's go back to the piano. So we go to the other end of the room where all the storage are pianos back in the other building. And I get my two piano movers, and they bring the piano out. And I literally reach on the shelf underneath.
The third leg.
Right. No, not the one in the back.
Okay.
I'll tell you a story about the one in the back.
Okay. I got one for you too.
So I reach up, and there's a Crown Royal bag filled with jewelry. Like this, right? And I'm like,
There's nothing here.
Don't feel a thing. Sorry.
they're standing right there. I hand it to them, and they're like ecstatic. Oh my God, thank you very much. You know, what can we do? I said, give each one of my movers $100. So they whip out $100. He ended up being like a lifelong customer of mine. He bought a couple of pianos off. He just died about 2 years ago, so he became a very good client of mine. All right, from
It was paying for it.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
I think there was more in that bag, but but I never.
$100 is really easy to get.
So that was at that point. I decided, well, we're gonna have a policy about this, all right, in this company. And so now, anytime I sit in front of a piano or my texts go out, I said, "You look that customer right in the eye. You tell them, any drugs, money, or jewelry, we split." All right. There's not a person in my company that isn't wearing a piece of jewelry we found. About 2 months ago, we get this piano shipped down from upstate New York to rebuild, and it's an old upright. Louis walks in the office, and he's got this bag. It's filled with pewter silverware that they had in there. I said, what are we going to do with this? And so I take pictures, and I send it to the guy. He said, I don't want nothing to do with it. I said, all right. So I gave it to Ed, and I said, Ed, take it to the pawn shop or do whatever you want to do with it, you know. But it was nice stuff. So I buy these two pianos from this hotel in South Beach just being renovated. And you know how like a lot of hotels have pianos that they use as floater pianos, like it'll go into the room. So I buy these two Yamahas, and I get it right away. I get the C7, and we fix it up and sell it. So now I get the C3. This is maybe 6 months later. And I get this customer comes down and wants a C3. So I'm going to show it to him. But it's still on its side. And I'm by the back door, and it's open. It's pouring down rain. And he's standing there, and I'm looking at the finish on it, and I'm telling him what we can do for it. And I look at the back, and I reach in the back, the rear leg here. 2 ounces of Coke. And I'm going, man, it's a good day. But I got the customer standing right beside me. Okay. Now I'm looking at him. He's not making those signs. He's not going.
We're splitting that, buddy.
He's not.
It's in my policy. It's in my policy.
He's not making no signs. So I take my shoes
That's
off.
not mine, guy.
No, I already told him where these came from. I said, I got these out of this hotel that's renovating. I don't want to say which hotel because it's a nice hotel, one of the nicest ones down there, right? So,
And I'm still maintaining it.
You got any more pianos?
Come on, bring them on. Come on, bring them on.
well, I figure someone was in the room and they were a roller or whatever, and they had to leave, and so they got this blow, and they're not going to take it with them, so they stuff it up in the piano.
Here's for the movers.
Right?
I'll be back in 6 weeks. Don't worry.
No telling what they were going to do,
Damn it, the piano's gone.
So I take both bags. It's pouring down rain. And I walk out in the rain, take my shoes, my socks off. I walk in the biggest puddle, which is right in front of me. Both bags right in the puddle. Both of them right there. Down. So I waited till the sun came out and see if anything dried up. I scrape and stuff.
It was in your shoes. It already went into your skin.
I took both bags right in this puddle of water. I was like, drugs and pianos. Who'd figure that out? And so now the piano comes in the shop now that everybody got that.
Was this before or after the guy was doing blow in the bathroom?
This is before.
Yeah, maybe it was his piano.
Did he
was
pick that
gone.
piano up?
I got him deported. I got him. What happens is I didn't rat him out, but I just called and I said, I'm withdrawing, my sponsorship of this guy. And I don't even think they asked me why. I just said, I'm withdrawing my sponsorship, and I sent in the paperwork, or faxed it in. Within a month, he was gone. He sends me emails. I'm going to say he sent me an email about a year ago. Just how you doing? How's the family? But this is a long time ago. But
I got a story about a third leg situation. So I had gone to this customer's home because unfortunately the husband had passed away and the wife had dementia. So the wife was in Fort Myers because her I think niece was taking care of her. She's in a nursing home. So Mr. Gillette says, I have a customer, friend of mine. I've been very good friends with them. They have a Steinway M that I want you to look at, to possibly buy. So I look at the piano. I said, I made him an offer. Okay, a couple days later, whatever, they decided to keep the piano, but they wanted it brought to Fort Myers. Sure, no problem. So me and my cousin Chris, we were breaking the piano down, and when we put it on its side, a wallet of hundreds and fifties fell out like that. And I went like this, and I called Mr. Gillette. I said, because I never met the owners. I never met the niece, the woman, blah, blah, blah. I said, Mr. Gillette, can you come here for a second? He was in the kitchen. I said, this fell out of the piano. And he goes, is there any more? I said, well, let me look. There was 2 or 3 more stacks of hundreds and fifties, okay? So now I'm freaking out because, one, I'm like, damn, I could have bought this piano. And two, and two, I'm kidding. And two is now he asked me, he goes, well, can you take that to them? And I said, yeah, but how do they know that I didn't take something? Because once again, if I didn't earn it, I don't want it. So I said, Mr. Gillette, you pick it all up, you put it in a box, you tape up the box, and you sign your name on the tape. And while he's doing that, I called the people and I said, hey, we found some money. I'm bringing it with us, just letting you know. I left a message. We pull into Fort Myers. They came running out. They said, we hear there's a box. And I'm like, yeah, here you go. Here you go. Take it. The whole way over there, I'm thinking, watch this be the first time I get robbed. But no, we did. And then my dad's like, oh, you should tell the paper and they'll put you in the paper. I'm like, I don't want to do that. It wasn't mine. I didn't earn it. It's there.
That's how I felt about the jewelry. It wasn't mine.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was just one of those things that, so here was the thing too. She goes, she counted it, and she had told me, she goes, oh yeah, it was like $1,500. I said, yeah, because she gave us like $20. Finder's fee. Sometimes people do that. It was $15,000 somewhere in that ballpark. Hundreds and 50. She goes, oh, it was ones and fives. I'm like, add a couple zeros to that, and then it's a little different story. You know?
I counted it a little more than you think.
Yeah,
I seen what fell out.
it was a see-through box, you know. But hey, Dean, man, it's been great having you on.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
Toby.
it
I appreciate you guys having me.
very
honestly.
much. And you know, Grandmasters, they're located in Fort Lauderdale. You can check them out. What's your website address? That's it. Okay.
Maria.
Come here.
Maria.
I'm 71, you know,
See,
so
I-
I don't remember all that.
Flex my muscles. Thank you very much. That's all I gotta say. It's Grandmasters Pianos.
Okay. See, I told you were going to be in a podcast. You just didn't know it.
And let me tell you,
I just want to flex.
if it wasn't for her, I'm telling you, I would already have shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell this story. So I'm sitting in the office. It's about 3 years ago. She just taken over. And I get this phone call, this customer. And I look her up on the computer. And I see the last time I tuned her piano was 5 years ago. We tuned it once since then, but I tuned it 5 years. And my tech notes, it says, this piano is filthy. Customer does not want to clean it. So now the next person to tune it, he gives me the same notes. Listen, the piano's filthy. I don't want to go back to it. So she's, Mr. Palmer, my cat's urinating my piano. And I go, yeah, what do you want me to do? She says, well, I want you to send someone to come over and clean it. I said, do you have a dog? And she says, yes, I do have a dog. I said, any minute that dog's going to jump up and start shitting in your piano. I'm not sending anybody over to clean that filter. And I hung up. Maria comes in the office and she says, Dad, I don't think you should talk to customers anymore. And they took the phone off me that day. I don't
That was
answer.
a brilliant move on your part.
That's how you get out of things. Now I know when that time comes what to do.
That's why you have an office crew.
Well, this also is proof that you can have two companies that do the same thing but can cooperate.
Oh, absolutely.
And, you know, because we've cooperated
Absolutely,
in,
right.
in previous things. We still do
It's
in,
not like
in
the way
the
it used to
future.
be.
Oh,
No,
It's
no.
not, you know, and that's going by the wayside, thankfully.
You get so much further when you cooperate instead of competing.
100% right. It's bad juju.
Yep.
It's bad all the way around. No, I think you and I and our generation have changed that. I told you about the generation before me, how secretive they was. They wouldn't talk about money. And in a way, I think that's my biggest contribution to this industry is I think I got the ball rolling about we need to talk about money, that everybody makes a living at that.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to a state convention and I actually got to talk once. And I talked about, and everybody's like, oh man, we're really talking. About a year later, they came out in the PTG mag money forum. And that was a section, I don't know if they still have it in the guild book, that they actually talked about money, you know, and they would tell you what the local.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
Oh, they did for years.
Yeah. I think it became a big problem with being able to do that because I think the government was like, you're cornering the market if you are doing this and this and this. I think, don't quote me on it, but there's a big hush hush at conventions where you're not allowed to talk about money.
See, there you went back to it.
You know, and right, but it was one of those things with the government. It wasn't having anything to do with, I don't know 100%, you know, the facts of it, but I remember what I've been told.
We're not
and
sure if
so-
it's government either. So.
Right.
No, it's not the government. It's something else. It's aliens. You know.
The aliens told us not to do it.
But it is.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
just in the
there-
government.
Listen, there's a lot of politics in the industry. I
the
remember with
government.
me getting into the business, I would be so proud of, hey, look what I did. Hey, this and this. And I'm like, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's
Oh,
nice.
no.
You know, it took
What
years
you've
and
done is
years and
amazing.
years
Right.
to get to, you know, that point. But you and I are very similar in that situation of getting into the business, you know, and what we've done, you know, through the years. But Mike and Mike, thank you very much.
Mike
for
and Mike,
being on.
thank you very much.
Dean Palmer, thank you very
Thank y'all
much.
for what y'all have accomplished, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, and I think into your next chapter, and I wish you the best of luck, and we'll help you in any way we can. But I think whatever that becomes, as much time you spend in the Keys, whenever you come up here, I say we do another podcast because I think we could talk for 25 hours easily.
Next podcast will be on your post.
So yeah, that's what we
Okay,
should
it's
do.
a deal.
Absolutely.
This is all portable.
We can move this onto a boat,
yeah.
no problem.
This is easy.
So
This is
fishing.
easy.
We're going
Figure
about
that
5
out.
miles offshore.
That's
All
No problem.
That's a
Absolutely.
deal. Well, thanks for having me. Honestly, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming.
not a problem. So everybody, thank you. You can follow Grandmasters. They're located in Fort Lauderdale. You can follow us at Hamilton Piano Company. Everybody, we hope you enjoyed it. Have a good night.
All right.
Night.
Thanks, guys. That was awesome.
That's fun, right?